Hey, I'm in Monrovia, California today, Lawson HAYES Realty, and we're going to show some properties here in AD units that were built by Charlie right here. And so we're going to check out some ADUs on rehabbing homes, okay? All right. This is the ADU unit that was built by the contractor. Take you a little tour of it, and I'll let you meet the contractor. His name is Charles. We call him Charlie. So this is the front of the unit. This is in Monrovia. Oh man, we didn't. Hello, everybody. How are you? I want to thank you and for joining us for a real estate tips for homeowners, investors, buyers, and sellers. Sponsored by Lawson HAYES Realty. My name is Adlai HAYES, and today we have a special guest with us today. And this is Charles HAYES. Charlie's a general contractor, and we introduced you to Charlie. He's on the last episode, we toured an ADU that he built in Monrovia, California. And we got so many calls and questions and inquiries about that we decided to do a Q&A, question and answers, to address a lot of the questions that the public and people had, that things that they wanted to know. So we have the Q&A. But before we start and we begin, I'd like to ask you to please like our channel, comment, and subscribe, okay? So show us a little love, okay? And we're going to get right into this. And Charlie, how you doing?
I'm real good.
Good, man. We glad to have you here today in your busy schedule. But we're doing a lot of good things in the communities in Nevada, in California, and Georgia. And today we're in California, and we want to get busy with this. So question number one. And how long does it take to build an ADU?
It depends on the size. I found that the number one thing is basically the size. The size it depends on the time it's going to take. You're looking at anywhere from 90 days is the sweet spot, and 400 square feet is basically the most popular size. Reason why that's the most popular size is because when they convert their garages into ADUs, the garage is 20 by 20.
Okay.
So that's we found from trench to turnkey. And when I say trench to turnkey, that's from sticking the shovel in the ground, digging the foundation, all the way to giving the customer the key to entering his ADU as a finished product. We're telling them about 90 days.
Okay.
About 400 square feet.
Okay. So to question number one, how long does it take to build an ADU? 90 days. Okay. Question number two, what is the permit process?
The permit process basically is all up to the owner. The contractor has nothing to do with the permits. Once she obtains her architect and engineer, they basically put her plans together based on what she wants, and they submit the plans to the city. Once they submit their plans to the city or county or a small city. So if it's a small city like Monrovia, large city like Pasadena, Los Angeles, it depends on how their backlog. If they're backlog, it could take anywhere from 90 to 100 days. I've found that anywhere from 90 to 120 days is about the going duration to get your plans back.
Okay.
Now, don't be afraid if your architect calls you and say it has to send it back for corrections. That's part of the process. The reason why that's part of the process is because codes change, things happen, and they have to send them back for corrections. Once they come back for corrections, that should be the last time, and then they go through the process of getting corrected, and you get your plans ready for building and processing. But about 90 days, about 90 to 120 days.
Okay, so 90 to 120 days to for the permit process. Okay.
No, but if it's LA County, you're gonna add about a month to a month and a half more to that. And the reason why is because LA County is short staffed. LA City and the other cities, they have a lot of people on hand to handle a lot of the volume, but
Really?
LA County is short staffed. They don't have a lot of engineers
Right.
to handle all this coming in. So
Right.
add about another month to it.
Okay.
For sure.
That's good to know because, you know, it's a good call out to know that there's certain locales and municipalities that take longer simply because they don't have the staffing and so forth.
And you want to look for where you are, because even if you are in a city, say the city of Pasadena,
right?
You can be in the city of Pasadena and you can go to the city for the city of Pasadena building and safety.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in unincorporated Pasadena, you fall under LA County.
Okay.
Same with Monrovia, same with Arcadia, same with Duarte. If you're in the unincorporated part of those cities, it falls under LA County.
Okay, thank you. Question number 3 is how much how much space or square footage is needed to build and accommodate an ADU?
Well, it depends on basically how much space you have. You can build one as small as 250 square feet. You don't want to go any smaller than that. The reason why is because if you're just adding a room and a restroom, that's just an addition to your house. But if you want to build an ADU, you want to get into that sweet spot anywhere from 350 to 400 square feet, all the way up into 1,200 square feet. If you're going to go that large, you might as well call it another house.
Right.
So the sweet spot for an ADU is anywhere from 400 to 600 square feet. 400 square feet, you can get a room, restroom, kitchen, and small living room area. 600 square feet, you can get 2 bedrooms, a kitchen,
right,
a living room, and a small bathroom.
Right.
So the sweet spot is anywhere from 400 to 600 square feet.
Right. Now, on the episode that we did, where we toured and looked at the ADU that you built, that was 390 square feet.
390 square feet.
I just happen to think that was great. It had the bedroom, it had the bathroom, it had the kitchen area and so forth, and I just thought that was great. And that was 390 square feet. So good. If you want to check that out, look at the previous episode for ADU in Monrovia, California. Okay. Question number 4. What is the standard size? Did we do that?
Yeah, standard size.
Okay. Question number 5. What are the going rents for a standard sized ADU?
Well, that depends on location. I found that the city of Los Angeles, we built one about 250 square feet, and that lady is getting about $2,000 a month,
right,
for her rent for that 250 square foot ADU in Los Angeles. The one that we built that was on the episode, the 390 square feet, he's getting $2,300 a month for that ADU.
Right.
So that was 390 square feet. So the size of it matters, but the location matters even more where it's at.
Right.
So you're looking at anywhere from $1,600 to $2,500 a month coming in for additional income for your ADU.
Right. Yeah, I can piggyback on that. And just someone I was working with just a week ago, where I recently built ADU and was completed, and she just had applications after applications for ADU 290 square feet, and the asking rent was $2,000 for 290 square feet, and she just had over a dozen applications for that. So yeah. Question number 6. What amenities do most people seek in an ADU?
Well, they're looking for a small house, a small unit. So they're
Okay.
looking for a bedroom, a kitchen, a restroom, and a small living room area.
Right.
The small living room area basically doubles as a dining room area.
Right.
So they're looking for a small, now they're not looking for putting families back there. They're looking to put maybe a couple or a single person that's professional back there in their ADU. Like I said, they're looking for, the same thing would be in a small 1-bedroom house.
Right.
But it's small. It's not tiny, but it's small, but it's very, very comfortable. And the ADUs are normally in a very, they're either attached to the house or they could be detached from the house.
Mhm. Number 7, what sets your ADUs apart from other builders?
Quality.
Quality.
Simple as that. I mean, you could put a cheap product in your ADU, and just because you saved $150 on that particular product, in the long run, you would have been best off putting a superior product in there.
Right.
Because you're not going to get the call back, you're not going to get the complaint from the customer, and you're not going to get the complaint from the tenant. So it's best to go ahead and start off. And I learned this because I'm 3rd generation contractor, and I've learned this from just passed down experience. Don't try to cheat to save a few bucks here, because you're going to be spending it in the long run. And that long run, not only that cheating, it not only hurts your bottom line, but it hurts your reputation. So it's best to just go ahead and do the right thing the first time and be done with it. So quality is the real simple answer to that.
Right. One thing I will say, being very familiar with your work, is the quality that you do and how detailed you are with it. For instance, and I'd like to share, instead of Charlie putting it in a regular ceiling in an ADU, Charlie might pitch the ceiling, put recessed lighting in the ceiling, and add those really details that sets it apart. It's kind of like a differentiator from other products, other ADUs, or things of that nature. And I just think in all things, especially when it comes to real estate, it's the details that kind of set things apart, and the attention to detail. So I agree with that. Number 8, are many people opting to downsize and move into the ADU and rent their homes out?
Real easy question for me.
Right.
The one you saw in the previous ADU,
Right.
that's exactly what that guy did.
Right.
He realized he was a single man, by himself. He lived in a 2,300 square foot,
Right.
3-bedroom, 2-bath home,
Right.
with himself, and the only thing he was acquiring was more stuff to put in that home.
Uh-huh.
So after the ADU was finished, he knew that he could do one or two things. He could rent the ADU, or he could stay in the ADU and rent the front house. The only thing that he had to realize is that he had to get rid of 35 years worth of stuff that he had acquired in that house in the front. So it was a win-win for him. He got rid of a lot of stuff that he didn't need anymore, and he was able to downsize his life a lot simpler, and he's happier, and he's renting his house out in the front for, I think, over $3,500 a square foot, $3,500 a month.
Right.
So he's very happy.
Right.
So a lot of people that they do these ADUs, the ADUs come out so nice that they're thinking to themselves like, wow, I want to live in this myself. I'm not going to rent it out.
Right.
Yeah, that does happen.
Right. So the answer is yes, that there are a certain amount and percentage of people who build ADUs and elect to move into them themselves. Number 9, what should those consider? I'm sorry. What should those considering ADUs think about and know?
Well, first of all, they need to know that if they are building an ADU, that this is going to be an additional income.
Right.
It's not only going to be an additional income, but you're going to have people living on your property now, people that you probably don't know.
Right.
So you have to be aware of that.
Good point.
You're going to be dealing with, you have a renter now, so you have responsibilities now. You want to look into all the, if you have never been a landlord, you are that landlord now. Right. Now you are basically in business now. Right. So you want to make sure that you acquire all the proper laws of being a good landlord and a good tenant.
Right.
So because you have to realize you live with the people that you rent to, and you want a good relationship.
Right.
So that's real important that you are aware yourself with all equip yourself with all the laws of being a landlord, because you probably never have been your whole life, but now you're renting to someone you don't know.
Right.
And you want to not only protect yourself, but you want to protect your tenant too.
Right. One call out I'd like to call out is that one thing to consider and one thing to know is that building an ADU on your property does immediately add value easily from $200,000 to $300,000 to your property. Easily. Okay. So you could expect that if you build an ADU on your property, it's going to increase the value at least $200,000 to $300,000. Okay. And question number 10, what are the pitfalls customers should know, and what should customers avoid?
Well, the pitfalls of having an ADU, basically, you do not want to go out there and build something on your own and think that you're going to inhabit it with a person living in it, because the reason why you have building permits, building codes, rules, and regulations is because that covers you in case something happens. You may put a person in something that you built that you think is sufficient, but the city does not approve of it because it's not been permitted. And it's a big reason for it. It's the reason the rules are in place is to protect not only you, but it's to protect your tenant. So if you have something that's illegally erected and you feel that, hey, I'm gonna put a bathroom in this and I'm gonna rent it out, it's gonna be called an ADU. I never got it classified as an ADU, but I'm gonna do this. You're really rolling the dice, because if you're caught, it's a huge fine and they're gonna make you tear it down. Another thing, even if you built it at the specs that an ADU is going to be built at, if it is not permitted, they're going to still make you tear it down. The reason why is because when you build something, there's a process to building. Everything that you build has a step to it. So if you build the foundation, before you can cover that foundation, they have to inspect it.
Right.
Before you cover your framing, it has to be inspected. Before you cover it up with stucco or drywall, it has to be inspected. So by you going out there and just jumping ahead of the line and doing all these things, and because you feel that it's all done to your specification, that doesn't mean the city has looked at it and approved of it. So you're rolling the dice and you're wasting a lot of money, because they're going to make you just tear it down. And another thing is this: if you do build something like that and you say, hey, I built it, I've rented it out, I've been renting it out for a couple of years, now I'm ready to sell it. You will not get the value for that particular unit, because that unit was probably either allocated as a garage or a carport. And garages or carports, they're not counted as your livable space. So your livable space is the only thing they count as square footage. They don't count your garages and your carports.
Good point.
So you want to definitely add your square footage legally, because it only benefits you and your tenant.
Good. Well, listen, Charlie, thank you so much for being a guest on our show in this episode, and providing your expertise and so forth. So are you, I'd like to ask you something. Are you new to this?
I'm true to this.
You're true to this. Good. Listen, hey, thank you for joining us on this episode of Real Estate Tips for Homeowners, Investors, Buyers, and Sellers. And we'll see you for the next episode. You can reach us at info@LawsonHayesRealty.com, or call us at 818-863-0799 and check us out. Okay. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.